England versus Ireland. Yeah, well that was the concept originally. I didn't think we'd be able to find 8 quality middleweights to take part in this event who'd be willing to. I really didn't expect Mark Heffron to be up for entering Prizefighter or Eamon O'Kane. You know, no disrespect to the other boys as well, but these are 2 unbeaten prospects here. You know, who really, you know, admire what they're doing, but they don't have to take this opportunity or try and take this opportunity. So I was expecting, you know, 4 or 5 people, but we had an email, and thanks to a lot of the Irish website guys, Leonard Gunning in particular, who sent us a report on everybody. You know, I won't show you that report because he wasn't too complimentary about a lot. but that shows you the interest that it's created. People care.
Sign them up in the cheap.
Yeah. But people care. You know, and that's what drives you to do shows in Belfast is a response. Every time we do a press conference, it's a great turnout. Every time we do a fight, it's a great turnout, and you get a great response from the people. So you want to come back. You know, we can't do 6 shows a year in Ireland, and I really wanted to do a prize fighter in Ireland, and this was the only way to make it happen.
Okay. Well, the last thing is, as I say, down south, a huge amount of interest, and so thanks for bringing it over.
That's all right, and I think what's important to all these guys, and the fighters in particular, is everybody sells as many tickets as possible, because the whole thing about Prizefighter is you've got your army of fans. You know, you've got your coaches from Roscommon coming down, you've got all of Lurgan coming to support Ryan Green, you know, you've got Dublin coming to watch Anthony Fitzgerald get knocked out. You know, I mean, sorry. But brave thought. No, but you know, but listen, all jokes aside about Anthony, that's great, because there will be a lot of people hoping he gets knocked out. But that's okay, because that sells tickets. Everybody used to turn out to watch, everyone used to turn up to watch Chris Eubank get knocked out, and Nazim Hamid. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as you're creating interest and you're putting bums on seats, then you're doing a good job, and you know you do that. So,
Eddie, is the banana fight, in your opinion, is it dead in the water, or will you maybe go back in after Paul, if technically comes through this fight? Spack McDonald's lost the fight now, maybe press down, maybe try it again? Yeah,
it all depends. I mean, really, he should be stripped of his title from the WBA. Yeah, but will that happen? Probably not. You know, because he's got very close links with the WBA. But you know, the whole business, I'm sort of coming around to the fact that actually, are world titles that important? And I know they are, but I think in 5 years' time, it won't be about the world titles, it'll be about the quality of fights. Because really, some of the stuff that's going on in the organisations make no sense at all. I mean, we couldn't have a Paul McCloskey press conference without talking about Amir Khan. You know, and how's he been given his WBA title back? What's all that about? You know, it kills the sport, it's like, that makes no sense at all. Paul Lamont Peterson's gone in there, he's won the fight. You know, bloke with a hat or no bloke in a hat, forgot about that. You can score it any way you want. Some score it to Peterson, some score it to Khan. Bottom, he won the fight. How can you strip him of a belt for doing that? Anyway, we won't go on to that. But, you know, it makes you think that, and that's why actually the McCloskey-Prescott fight was such a great fight. No world title, but just the perfect opponent and the perfect night and the perfect fight was well worthy of a world title fight. But in answer to your question, the ultimate goal is always to win a world title. So we'll be doing everything we can, and the work never stops to try and bring him over. But when you look at Madonna's options now, what are they?
Was there any truth in the rumours that you were close to getting Casillas over?
Yeah, Casillas was another one. He decided to stay at lightweight. That was a great fight. Would have been a great fight, Casillas against Paul. You know, honestly, probably tried to close to 60 opponents. You know, for Paul McCloskey. And the Curtis Woodhouse was a situation where all I want is someone who's prepared to come and fight. I don't want someone to come over who's just going to hide in a shell for 12 rounds, stink the place out. And for Curtis Woodhouse, it would have been his absolute world title fight. He would have come and given everything, you know. But I'm lucky he didn't take the fight in him, because the response wasn't very good. You know, we had to backtrack on that quite quickly.
After a fight down American and going on Woodhouse would have been a step.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You know, you're just going to sit there and sulk. You know, you can't. You know, and at the end of the day, that's what we spoke to France and we spoke to Paul. And they said the same, you know, we can sit here and wait and wait and wait. And some people do wait and wait and wait, by the way. But what's the point? You've got to get out there, you've got to put food on the table for your family, you've got to keep banging on the door. And the way you do that is banged out, sold out arenas, great fights, big support and huge exposure on Sky. And hopefully they'll come. They will come, but just not in May.
Eddie, sorry, I want to ask Mark a question, but just an aside beforehand, they were talking about Dana and his entourage and the percentages.
Yeah.
Archie Moore once discovered that he had sold 105% of himself. Sorry, can I just ask Mark, I mean it's all Irish, so what's the Irish connection for Mark?
For Mark Heffron. Mark's got family in Cork. He's got history and family from Cork. We're not just slinging him in because.
No. I just wanted to know.
But he's got a big following in Cork as well, and they're going to be coming up with Gary Hyde. So you know that.
And Gary's picking up.
Yeah, but I'm glad you made him feel at home anyway.
Paul, how hard has it been to get your head around the fact that you expected the world title fight to come after such a good win against Leicester?
Well, it is what it is, you know, you can't lie about talking. Obviously, I'd love to sit down for a world title fight this soon, but there's been boys we've asked people to come and fight, and I'll probably be happy as well, but it just hasn't been happening. So we just want to get on your buzzy again and just get the ball rolling again, you know.
Is there a bit of pressure to kind of perform to try and catch the American networks and stuff like that? Because you've sort of tried every avenue, like, if you know what I mean?
I don't know, for me it's just about winning the fight. If the American boys like me, that's a bonus, you know. So,
Just to add on that, Paul, sorry. This is also shown in America as well, on a Fox channel, and also in Canada. So this was another reason I wanted to put Paul on the station, because unfortunately the Amir Khan fight, well, it wasn't even on Sky. But you know that was something that their distribution, they don't even know what distribution means. So you know they're basically that was a fight that wasn't seen by enough people. You know, of course it doesn't matter in the end because we know how it ended. But the bottom line is this is going to give him exposure in all those key fight territories, which was another important reason in making sure he was on the bill.
Well, I ask, with those kinds of American considerations that Eddie was saying, like, would you look at this date at all? I know you mentioned the September date, but would it be in your head maybe to say that this could be the last on the headline of Belfast for a few months or a year, or would that be the way you're thinking at all?
I just think move on as well as I can and as quick as I can. I want to fight for a world title, and I'm going to do a good job here. There's a possibility of that. If it's going to be another country, so be it. But I want to hear, because the support base I have is amazing. No, the Odyssey fall to the neck with all my support to fight for world title. That'd be a dream for me, you know. So hopefully that's what happens. But again, there's so many things you don't know at the moment, you know. So we're just taking this fight as it comes.
How frustrating was it for you personally, like, I mean, in terms of even preparation, maybe not to know opponent, or?
Well, I've been tuning since Christmas with the possibility of fighting even before this date. Obviously, we hadn't a date tied up there till not that long ago. So I'm in pretty good shape at the moment, actually. So I actually had to find myself taking the foot off the gas a few weeks back, you know, because I don't know what to do. You know, when I get around on the night in the best condition as possible, you know. So it can get frustrating at times, but you have to just stay focused, because I'm not the only person that's listening at times. Everybody finds themselves in a place sometimes you have to just stay calm and just stay focused and stay in the gym and keep working.
Presumably, Paul, you're hoping to like get Dungiven and double on the night, and Eddie as well. With your links with Eamon O'Kane's career, are you hoping that Eamon prevails on the night?
Yeah, you know, obviously we've got links with Eamon and we wish him all the best in the tournament, and I think, you know, he at the moment, if there was a favourite in the tournament, Eamon O'Kane would be the favourite. I think the bookies will show that as well. But, you know, at the end of the day, Prizefighters is one of those events where anything can happen on the night. You know, you can't take anything for granted. It's 3 3-minute rounds, and any fighter who may not beat the other fighter over 12 rounds can beat them, you know, over 3 rounds. And that means something. And you know, at the end of the day, people are coming out there throwing leather, trying to knock people out. And people will get knocked out. There'll be shocks, there'll be upsets, but that's part of the night. And it wouldn't be Prizefighter without it. You know, I'm sure there'll be reserves featuring. I'm sure there'll be cuts. You know, there'll be people getting knocked out. There'll be controversy. But that's all part.
Reserves, Eddie?
Yeah, we do. We've got one reserve to name. The other reserve which we're announcing is Alan Donnellan from Dublin.
Are the lads just going to get drawn out as they are? Is there going to be a seeding, or how's...
There'll be no seeding. I mean, one thing we've done recently in Prizefighter is we've done the draw in the ring. The only consideration we have to take in that is that takes a little bit of time in terms of transmission time. And obviously this is the first time we've ever had a main event on Prizefighter, and obviously with Martin fighting as well. So we've got a lot to cram in on the night. So there may be, this draw may be made before the night. I'm a big advocate of having the draw in the ring, because you've got no chance to plan against your opponent. You know, it's literally right, you're fighting you, go and glove up. You know, without any time to think. And that generally makes for more exciting fights, because if you're studying how to beat him, sometimes you might adapt a strategy that's less entertaining.
When will you confirm that?
Probably in the next couple of weeks.
How do you get Anto Joe Ray then?
Sorry?
You don't do
Exactly, yeah, that would be an interesting draw if we did that. And, you know, funny things happen in the draw. You know, we two stablemates fight each other in the last Prizefighter. The two Liverpudlians that were in the draw, the Prizefighter before, got drawn against each other in the first round. So anything could happen, and obviously the one we all want to see is Joe against Anthony. And maybe after this one, we could, if we don't get it on here, we can get it on in the June show, because I'd like to see it.
Is that a bit of genuine bad blood, lads, or is it just a bit of...
Well, we don't know each other, but however, this is what you see on the internet is what you will get.
Eddie, sorry, well, I suppose the general question to the three lads in particular. There's three unbeaten guys, Ed and Mark and Ryan. So at least two always go. Anyone got any comments on it, or anybody?
My comment is that I think an O means less and less in today's sport and today's boxing, because too many people hide behind an unbeaten record, and actually there's so many unbeaten fighters out there who actually aren't that good. And that doesn't apply to these three, but I could name you so many fighters out there who are 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, 12-0, that the moment they're put in a remotely tough fight, they're going to lose. So really, what are you fighting for? And let's be honest, if you're not any good, why waste your time? You know, at least put yourself into a tough fight and find out if you're any good. You know, and that doesn't apply to these boys, because they are good. You know, you talk about Eamon and Mark, you know, and Ryan, they've got unbeaten records, but like I said before, being in Prizefighter and losing means nothing. You know, no one looks at you differently. Gary Sykes was a British champion. He entered Prizefighter, he lost.
First round, I think.
Yeah, first round knockout. You know, and he went on, and I know he lost his British title off there, but no one really. People talked about it, but you know, it's not the end. And you're talking about a British champion there. You know, so for these guys, no one's got anything to lose. You know, they're going to go out there, put their name in lights in front of a massive audience, and have a great opportunity to do something. They're going to be over at Sky in a couple of weeks' time, filming the promo. You know, they're going to have promos running for weeks and weeks on Sky. You know.
Did your dad come up with the concept himself? I mean, I know in the early 60s, Jack Solomons did a similar type thing. He called them novice competitions. Danny McLinden won it at heavyweight for a start. But then there was nothing on it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, John Wishausen actually who works with us, I think, come up with the hardcore concept. We had another concept called Last Man Standing, which was a heavyweight concept that was run in the States for a little bit. But the bulk of the reason behind this format is that viewers' attention spans are changing all the time. Now, modern day viewers, when they're watching TV, they're never just watching TV. They're tweeting, or they're having a bet on the computer, or something's going on. So sometimes a 12-round format is not particularly appealing to a casual fight fan. It's exactly the same concept as 2020 cricket. You know, test matches versus 2020 cricket. Any sports fan, I would say that actually, probably of the people turning up to watch this at King's Hall, probably 30, 40, 50% might not have even been to boxing before, or haven't been in many years. You know, but Prizefighter's a big brand now, it's a big draw, and you haven't got to be Einstein to understand how it works. It's 3 rounds with 2 blokes trying to bash each other up as quickly as possible. And it is, like I said, winner stays on. You know, and double your money every time. £4,000 just for turning up, £8,000 for losing in the semi-finals, 16 grand for making the final, and 32 grand for winning it. And you're not going to get that kind of money anywhere. I mean, 4 grand.
16 for the runner-up.
16 for the runner. You double your money every round, so 4, 8, 16, 32. But you know, 4 grand even for a 3-rounder. I mean, you know,
it's myself, Eddie.
No, I know. I'm not sure you'll make the weight, but you know, we'll have to have a check weight.
And hold on, we never said middleweight.
Yeah. No, but listen, the money's great, but more importantly than that, it's the dream of going and winning this thing, and you know, it is a massive, massive deal, and it will change their life, not just financially, but it will change everything. Because all of a sudden you're Prizefighter champion, and you're going on, and before you know it, you know, I'm looking at potential opponents for Proxer, our European champion, or you've got British titles or Commonwealth titles. You know, because once you're a Prizefighter champion, you're a big, big name, and Sky want you back.
In the more recent Prizefighters, you've had Prospect, Prizefighter Prospect. Is there going to be any of that?
Yeah, the Prizefighter prospect is Martin Lindsay. He's one of the best prospects I know.
He's too old to be a prospect.
No. Yeah, in a lot of the ones we've been doing in the UK at the moment, we've been putting a young fighter on the bill, but obviously with Paul added and now Martin added, you know, we could potentially look at a youngster coming on before Martin, but I mean, there's so much going on. You know, and to be honest with you, if I put any more fights on, it's going to cost me a fortune. You know, but at the end of the day, I think Martin Lindsay, Prizefighter and Paul McCloskey is such a great night
Oh no.
And you know, I'm glad you agree. But you know,
how about it'll be nearly a year and a half out of the ring. Has that been a
15 months.
That been frustrating?
It has been frustrating. I had damaged a few ligaments and a couple of fights fell through, but I've been training away the whole time through it. So, you know, I should be alright once I get this first fight out of it.
Best of luck anyway, Pat.
Thank you.
any other questions?
It's obviously a great opportunity, Martin, to get yourself back at the stage where you were before you lost it.
Definitely being on a big show in Belfast, no, it's always great. And with this line-up in Prizefighter, you know, they're all brilliant fighters, they're all putting it on the line, and then Paul is the main event. You know, it's just a privilege to be on the undercard of it.
Alright guys, thank you again for all your support. Honestly, I mean that every time we come over here, we get a massive amount of support from the media and websites and your fans and promoters and managers. It means a lot, and we look forward to coming back soon for another press conference and a great night on May the 5th.